Well, good morning everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, I was out in the garage this morning and you know, looking around at my myriad of parts and stuff. You can see I've got some up there and I've got some up there. And then I looked over here and you guys can see I have the tailpipe and the black tip, and down there is the muffler, the guts, if you will, of the MBRP system. So I got to thinking, you know, how does the new exhaust compare to the MBRP exhaust? What I had done, for those of you that don't know, I had the MBRP exhaust. Well, let's go all the way back to the beginning. I, of course, had the stock exhaust on the truck, and then I wanted something a bit throatier, a bit louder, because, you know, that's what I like. So I put the MBRP exhaust on, and I got something throatier, something louder. I'm not going to say it's, you know, V8 sound or anything like that, because the Tacoma up here is, of course, a V6. I mean, you're not going to get V8 sound. Out of a V6 motor. It's never going to happen. But anyway, I put the MBRP exhaust on, and it was cool. I liked the startup. The startup was awesome. And I'm going to put a clip right here. You guys can hear it as compared to the TRD exhaust, which is what I have on the truck now. So I like that startup. You can tell there's obviously quite a bit of difference between the MBRP and the TRD exhaust. So the question begs, and people have asked, do I like it better? And why did I get rid of the MBRP exhaust? Well, let's start with why did I get rid of the MBRP exhaust. Let's go ahead and set you guys down there. I got rid of the MBRP exhaust because I didn't like all the sound that I was getting in the cabin, if you will. It always seemed at speed. Now this is at cruising speed. It was always kind of a drone. You could always hear the exhaust, and it even felt like you had to speak up a little bit. You know, if you had a passenger in there, you know, if Krista was in there with me, or my mom or somebody, you know, it seemed like you're yelling at them over the exhaust. And I mean, it wasn't quite that bad, but you know what I mean, just kind of had that feel to it. And I didn't really care for that. So really, it was with passengers and at cruising speed, if you will. You always had that sound in the cabin. So I opted to go for the TRD exhaust because, number one, I love the TRD products. And by the way, if you're looking for anything Toyota related, check out sparksparts.com. They have all the Toyota stuff, and don't forget to use discount code RobMotive for 5% off. But I went ahead and I got the TRD exhaust. Now, I will say, going back over here and taking a look real quick at the MBRP, you guys can see just patiently awaiting for its next owner here. It is quite a bit smaller, if you will, the muffler part of it, than the TRD. You guys can see the TRD exhaust here. It is quite a bit bigger, and it is heavier, I'll tell you. After muscling it up there, it is quite a bit bigger. Now, I do, from an aesthetic standpoint, like the treatment they have, the tip, if you will, that they put on the end of it. It has the TRD logo on it that you can see there, and it's this nice, shiny, black paint. And I think that's pretty cool, although the MBRP wasn't bad either. It has the MBRP name on it, and has more of a flat or a matte finish, I guess. So, the second part of this here, I guess, is, am I happy with it? Well, yes and no. I like that it's quiet in the cabin now, and it certainly is. It's nowhere near as loud as it was before with the MBRP exhaust in the cabin. But what have I given up for that? You know, it's getting kind of hot out here. I've given up that nice sound on startup, you know, when you crank the key and you get that. I like that a lot. I don't have that with the TRD exhaust. It's maybe a step higher, if you will, a technical term, step higher or throatier than the stock setup was, but it's not a lot. When you're driving around, it's really pretty quiet. You certainly don't get that sound in the cabin. You don't have to speak up or yell over the exhaust, exaggerating a little bit. But you don't have to be a lot louder in the cab because it's simply not that much louder of an exhaust. So I'm happy with that, but I am missing the sound, if you will, of that MBRP exhaust. That nice throaty little sound that we got, both in startup and when you revved it. And that was another cool thing. You know, when you got on it, you kind of got a nice loud response, something that you don't get with the TRD exhaust. So hopefully that answers the question for the people that have asked, you know, do you like it better? Why did you get rid of the MBRP exhaust? Those are my reasons. Would I go back to the MBRP exhaust? You know, I might. I'm not going to, but I certainly wouldn't have a problem getting it again. And maybe just live with that extra sound that you get in the cab. So that brings me to one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is, what am I going to do with the MBRP exhaust? I mean, you guys saw it. It's sitting over there. It's waiting. It's wanting to be used. It needs a new home. Well, what my plans are with that, as a celebration on the channel, once we hit 12,000 subscribers, is to give it away, to do a drawing kind of thing, or some sort of a contest. I really haven't worked that out in my mind yet, to give that away. So stay tuned for that. Again, once we hit 12,000 subscribers, that's going to be the big giveaway for that. There may be some other things. We've got a little giveaway going on right now, some grab handles. That may or may not be over by the time this video airs, I'm not sure. But we have that going on. So we continue to give away some things, and I am going to give away some of these other parts that I have. I had mentioned before about taking the black badging here off of the Tacoma, and if anybody's interested in that, there'd be some sort of a giveaway for that as well. But that kind of gets away from my point, I guess, a little bit on this video. But since people have asked, you know, and I'd mentioned it before, you know, when are you going to give that away? Are you going to give it away? What are you going to do with it? People have even offered to buy it. But I kind of want to give back to you guys a little bit, so I'm not really looking to sell it. To be honest, they're not that expensive to begin with. I think somewhere in the $300 range, something like that, brand new. I will say I only have maybe about 200 miles, maybe not even that, on the MBRP exhaust, so it's basically like brand new anyway. It will, of course, be used when I give it away, but it's in excellent condition. So there you have it. That's my story on the TRD exhaust. I would say if you're in the market and you're looking for a throatier, deeper exhaust, then the TRD exhaust is probably not for you. It's not going to give you that deep, throaty sound if that's what you're looking for. And if you opt to go with the TRD exhaust, you're probably going to be disappointed in that regard. For me, it goes back to a little bit of a sound enhancement or increase, and the aesthetics, and I know this is a pretty petty thing and people are probably going to jump all over me about it because I'm a YouTuber, that's what they do, is that exhaust tip. I like the treatment of that. I like the shape of it. I like the way it looks. And a lot of the things that I do on the Tacoma back here are for aesthetic reasons, things that I find appealing. Hopefully others do too. I get a lot of compliments on the truck, so I think there are many people out there who kind of do the same thing, you know, because we have to look at it every day, right? You don't, but I do. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Just wanted to go over that a little bit, let you know what's going on, and kind of talk about that giveaway that's going to be coming up. So make sure you tell everybody, your friends, your family, your enemies, it doesn't matter, because the closer we get to 12,000, the sooner it'll be that I give that exhaust away. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.